So, my son had his third wrestling tournament this past Saturday here in our hometown in Elizabeth, and it was at one of our local high schools. And my baby had a hard time. So, typically, when they wrestle, because of their age group, they usually go early in the morning around, like, they'll wrestle from like 9 to 10:15. And what you do is you just request a match, and they'll match you up with somebody that's about the same amount of weight as your kid. Or you can go to a parent or a coach and say, hey, I want our kids to wrestle with each other. And you got a window of about an hour and 15 minutes, and it's typically earlier in the day. But this day, it was later on in the day. Matches started at like around 3. And then it was the coldest fucking day. Like, this past Saturday, it was freezing. When we got out of the car to walk to the building, and it wasn't that far. Like, we didn't park too far from the building. When I tell y'all it was so cold, and I'm not feeling well. I don't want to say the S word. I'm not feeling well. My body is fighting something off. It was crazy. The energy was crazy. And I was kind of excited to go back home and allow my son to wrestle because it's my hometown, but the energy just felt off, and like I knew something was off with my kid. Like, it just felt crazy. So we get there, we're waiting, we do weigh in, and so they're just kind of like waiting around before they start the matches. So I'm telling my kid, like, yo, you need to stretch. Like, you and him and my nephew wrestle together. Like, y'all need to practice. Yo, they were like jumping around, they were playing around, they wasn't really even trying to focus. The coaches, because it was at our home, the coaches were like more focused on like organizing everything, and it's only 2 coaches, and it was like a big tournament. It was really, really crowded. So fast forward to it's time for my son to start his matches. The first kid that he wrestled pinned him, boom, like 2.5. God damn it. Hold on, y'all. I love you, Gaga, but not right now. Oh, hold on. What? Not right now. Wait, how do I pause this? I don't know how to work my sugar. How do I put? Oh, duh, I could just turn it off. So my baby, the kid, he fought him. This was the third time fighting him. The first 2 times he fought him. The third time, he fought him. That was the third person that he fought during his first match. And then the second match, that was the first person he fought, if that makes sense. They fought twice. So this time, let me tell you something. And I noticed that little boy progress over the weeks. He pinned my son. That broke my baby's spirit. Then when that boy pinned my son, he hit that mat, said, boom, let's go. My baby's spirit was broken. And like after that, like he just wasn't no good. He wasn't no good. Like I seen it in him. Like, and I just wanted him to still continue. Mamas, y'all know, it's like when you watching your baby get a shot. Like, I don't let my son get all the vaccines, but the ones that I do allow him to get, like, I'm holding his hand and he's like, mommy, like, y'all know, like, moms, you can feel your baby pain. And so I can see that my son was scared, but I'm like, bro, you got to get through it. Like, it's part of the experience. Now, the first 2 weeks that he wrestled, he was good. Like, he would lose. He only won one match each time he wrestled. And the second time he wrestled, he almost had the boy, but the boy bested him in that third round. So it's like, it's his first year and it's a learning experience. And I got to keep that in mind too, because I'm trying not to live vicariously through him and push shit on him because it's my shit, because I wanted to box and all that stuff. So I'm trying to be mindful. Like, I don't want to be one of those parents that be going hard at their kid because they trying to live through them. Like, working on that. But my baby, what was I going with that? So what was I saying? Sugar. So okay, so now, so he got defeated by the guy the young man that he usually beats. He got defeated by him. So now it's the second time wrestling. I see it. Like, I see it. I see the fear. Like, them boys was coming. Like, and they in the same weight bracket, but they're a little more experienced. And I feel like their coaches are a little more one-on-one with them. He had my baby. I seen that fear in his eye, and like, he was crying, and he jumped off the mat, and like, after the boy pinned him the first time, like, they could still go again because he didn't pin him. Like, it's a certain amount of time that you pin him in. If you pin him like that, then it's done. But Bakari kind of grappled with him long enough so that they can go a second round. But this time, Bakari ran off the mat and was like crying. And I'm like, yo, like, what the? I promise y'all, the first 2 times that my son wrestled, he did not do that. Even if he lost the match, he'll pop back up and he'd be like, okay, mommy, put me back in. I would either put him back in, or one of the parents suggested that I let him rest like in 15-minute increments. My baby ran off that mat, and I was like, yo, what is going on? But again, as his mama, as an empath, I could feel that the energy in that gym, like, it just wasn't, but he had to learn that. Like, he had to learn that you gotta know how to deal with adversity. You gotta learn how to work through your emotions and work through a loss, because my baby lost all of his matches, and y'all, he ran off every time he ran off. And again, I seen that fear in his eyes, but it was like I had to allow him to experience that, because it's a part of the experience. Like, the first 2 times you probably got let off a little easy, but this third time, this was a test to show how you deal with a loss and being afraid of your other opponent. Like, how do you bounce back from that? So when he ran off, I went up to him. I'm like, you good, baby? Like, come on, man. It was like, he was crying. I don't want to do this no more. I quit. Now, mind you, the first time when his first tournament, him and my nephew was playing with each other, and we were waiting in line to get weighed in. This is the very first tournament, and so my nephew clipped him and made him fall. I didn't see it, but I knew, because I heard the boom, and I heard the people in the audience go, ooh. And so my son immediately embarrassed. My brother seen what happened, but he know my mouth, so he grabbed my nephew. He was like, you don't do that. He was like, we family. You don't do that. Y'all teammates. That's your cousin. You don't do that. And I kept saying, what happened? What happened to my son? And my son wouldn't say what happened. I could just tell that he was so deeply embarrassed. And it brought me back to a time when I was in dance. I was doing tap and ballet, and we were preparing for a show. And I will never forget, the class was full. It was some parents in there, but majority of the dancers. And it wasn't my turn to go up with my group, but it's one group went up and they did this dance and they kind of shimmied, and I laughed. Mind you, I'm in the 3rd grade, so I laughed and I was like, oh, it kind of looks like they're doing a Thriller dance. That's all I said. So one of the little girls, white girl, other, YT, her feelings was hurt by me saying like, oh, that looks like a Thriller dance. So she's crying. She goes and tell her mom. Now, mind you, her mom used to wear these like big shoulder pads and these big glasses with this big crazy permed blonde hair. So her mother walks in there and she's like, what did you say to my daughter? I was like, all I said was they were doing the Thriller dance. I can't even remember because I blocked it out because I was so embarrassed. But when I tell y'all, her mom talked crazy to me, and I was a child. I was in the 3rd grade, and I promise you I didn't say anything wrong. Only thing I said was the dancer like the Thriller. The dance teacher didn't check the mom. Nobody said anything. You ever watch the show Dance Moms, and some of the moms be a sack full of bitches, and like the coaches let them be like that? That's how that mom was. I was so embarrassed. Like, my feelings was hurt so bad. And so I just sat down and I just cried. And that happened to me a lot. I'll get into that. I'll get into that the more and more I talk with you guys about my mental health experience and just growing up. But I just remember like just sitting down and crying. And so my mom came in and she was like, what's up? Are you okay? And I was like sitting there and I was crying. My mother was calling me, like telling me to come here. That shit plays in my head like very often, because if that was me, why she crying? Like, why she crying? I would have set it off in that bitch. I promise you. So I said it to say, even though my nephew did it, my son, why you crying? What happened? Like, what happened? Tell me what happened. And my brother like, nah, bruh, I took care of it, because I don't play that shit. Because my mom did not know she didn't know how to stand up for me. My mom did not know how to protect me. And that stuck with me. And so I'm at this age at 40. I'll be 40 in a few weeks, where I'm learning how to reparent myself, and I'm also parenting my son. So I'm gonna go extra hard, even if I get triggered and I'm like scared to like deal with it. Like, I always keep this in my mind. Only way out is through. Even if I'm scared, I get nervous very, very easily, because I always had to raise myself. Like, I had to really sit and think about the way that I grew up, and I spent a lot of time parenting both of my parents. Like, non-confrontational, both of my parents. But when it came to my brothers, my mom did not play that shit. I don't know what it was when it came to me. My mom just did not have the capacity to like protect me in that sense. So I always had to be the one. Like, even with my brothers growing up, we lived in the projects. It was just me and my brother for a very long time. Everybody else's parents had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Some even had 8. So we always had to be outside playing with the other kids. And like, one minute we playing, the next minute they trying to fight us. We had to learn on our own. And then our other cousins, like my aunt had 3 kids, no 4, but the older 3 ain't play that shit. So if my cousins wasn't protecting us, we had to protect ourselves. So I had to protect me and my brother. until he was old enough to protect me. And now my brother's 6'7", and he don't play about his sister like I didn't play about him. Like I don't even care if my brother did it. I still protected my brother. But growing up, I remember my brother having to fight this boy, and he was so scared of him. And I was like, you have to fight him. Like, he was so scared. And like, I made sure nobody jumped in. He tore my brother ass up. But you gotta learn. You gotta learn. The same thing with my own baby. He went out there in the matches, and I felt my baby pain. I felt his fear. I seen his fear. But you gotta learn. You gotta learn. I ain't gonna let nobody do too much, but you got to get your boo-boos. And then you learn how to get your lick back. That's it. That's all. So that was our experience on Saturday. My baby, like, he ran off, and he did not do that the first 2 times. But I know from being in that gym, I know him never experiencing no ass whooping like that. And, you know, the young men was doing their technique, but they just bested him. And I said, man, use it. I said, anger is a gift. You use it. And me and my brother told him, you don't run off that mat. You take that L, you shake that man's hand, good game. I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get my lick back. I said, and you keep going. That's it, baby. That's it. Y'all, I've been a boy mom since I was 3. My mom had my brother when I was 3 years old on Halloween. I remember sitting there digging in my candy, and her water broke, and I said, well, you got to hold on because I want to eat my Snickers. I remember. Always been a boy mom. Always had to be the protector, like always, and had to protect myself. And I'm still, even with a wife that don't play about me, because my wife is a big protector, and I'm so grateful for that, because even though I had my family that look out for me, sometimes my family would do the same shit that people in the streets was doing to me. My wife don't play that shit. She don't play that. Like, you not finna, she's like, I don't play about my wife. And my wife is 5'3". I'm 5'9". She 5'3". But you cannot tell me she ain't all of 6'5", because if you want some sauce, you're going to get some sauce. 9/11, as I was saying that, and my video ended, and I had to, but 9 is the ending of a chapter, and 1 is the beginning. And I was at first I was a little skeptical about doing sports with my son, because growing up, my family shied away from confrontation, and I didn't like that, because I was always the type of person that when I seen shit, I was like, that's not okay. And I would get in trouble a lot about being that way. I remember as I got older, like getting into arguments with my brothers, and, you know, being really pissed off because I felt really disrespected, because my father taught them how to be disrespectful to women. And he even told my brothers, like, don't date black women because they're like your sister. What, college educated? Driven? What? All around badass bitch? What? My dad said he don't remember saying that. But for a very long time, my brothers did not know how to show up for me in the way that I knew how to protect and show up for them. So, I lost my train of thought again. I always was a fighter. I always was like a disruptor. Like, I would speak up about shit. And I remember one time, like, my younger brother being really upset with me because I checked him on some shit. And the thing about me is, like, I will always get in trouble for speaking up. And it was like, my parents not going to say nothing. So I had to be the adult in the situation. And, like, a lot of times, like, I just didn't feel protected. And so, like, I would be looked at like I'm the crazy one and I'm starting all this shit. But it's actually, I'm being the parent to my siblings because my parents are not saying anything. So I remember one time my girlfriend getting into some shit. Me going off and telling him, like, yo, it's her, you gotta chill. Him going off on me, him pushing me, and my older brother trying to get my younger brother, like, yo, chill, that's our sister, don't do that. And he, like, pushed my brother, and we was at a family party, so we was drinking a little bit. My older brother slipped, and he hit his head on a corner or something. And I just remember, like, my younger brother, like, just disrespecting me over this woman that was a other, because my dad taught him not to respect women, and more specifically, don't date black women like your sister. So I remember being really pissed and ventilating to my grandmother, which was like, I was very close to my grandmother, my mom's mom, and she was like telling me, like, you know, you got to be forgiving. And I was like, yeah, nah, fuck that, grandma, because why would he, like, even if I understood why he did it, nah, ain't gonna be too many times y'all gonna keep disrespecting me. So I didn't talk to my brother for a long time. Like, when I tell you my ignored nothing you game is strong, like, you don't exist. And I remember his feelings being hurt and him, like, ventilating to the girl that caused all that shit. And then she laughing and then telling his aunt, like, yeah, his bitch ass were all sad his sister wasn't talking to him. And she was like, you do know that's my nephew, right? You do know that that's my family. You do know that's my niece that you talking about. Pure devil.